Anton in a similar way. Like our first interaction, you're like, yeah, this is a bad dude. And the movie takes no time to be like, let us tell you why he's a bad dude. I'm like, nope, he's bad. And I believe that he's this mythical assassin. Like, I'm good with it.
Welcome to your feature presentation, the podcast where we bring you the latest and greatest movies in pop culture. Today we're talking about No Country for Old Men. Is it a classic? Is it boring? Is it depressing? Do we love it? All these things and more. With me, my faithful, my comrade, misogynistic McKay.
I was hoping that one would be buried, done and buried.
It's like it's a new year. Same insults. And with us is also Andrew the Funk Clark. How's it going, man?
What's up?
Man, that one just came out.
Misogynistic McKay is crazy.
Yeah, it's been happening for
Don't feel better in time.
yeah.
I like it, so, and no one's complained about it yet, so I think we're good.
Yeah.
I think we're good.
Everyone else is into it.
Yeah, or else they're just kind of like the grin and bear it at least. So I don't know. But yeah, we're gonna do a deep dive on No Country for Old Men. McKay, you haven't read the book, is that correct?
Correct.
And so me and Clark have read the book, which was cool. I didn't even know, Andrew, that you'd read the book before we did this. So a little comparative talk. This movie, I had not seen this movie until we talked about doing this podcast. So this was a recent watch. I read the book right before I watched it. Great book.
Mm-hmm.
Great movie. So if anybody's just tuning into this for the movie, like, highly recommend the book. That was really solid as well. So like, what was your guys' kind of first introduction to this movie?
Mine was probably 2 or 3 years ago, scrolling through Instagram and watching like YouTube videos of like people breaking down scenes, like directors breaking down scenes or writers breaking down scenes. And it was we'll get to it, but the gas station scene with Javier Bardem.
Yeah. Chigurh.
Anton. I was like, I forgot his character's name. It was the gas station scene, like broken down with the script and everything. And I was like, this movie sounds incredible. And it's been on my list for a few years since then. But what got me to watch it was this episode. I'm so glad I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure part of the intrigue wasn't there some study done of like characters in movies or books and like actors who played them, and Bourdain's portrayal of Anton Chigurh, they said like he is like the quintessential like sociopath or like psychopath. Like there was some study I think that was done that was like, this is it. Like this borders on not even acting, in terms of how he played the character and how that character was written but also portrayed. And so I remember seeing a similar breakdown of like, wow, this is just something you need to see because if you're a movie fan. And so yeah, I watched it a couple of years ago, and then I'm in a movie group and we just recently watched it like within the last 6 months again, just because it's one of those like, it's kind of a haunting, stick with you film, if I'm honest.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot going on there, and I did want to read just a synopsis just in case people haven't quite seen it yet. But so basically, No Country for Old Men. While hunting in West Texas, Llewellyn Moss stumbles upon the aftermath of a drug deal gone wrong, takes a suitcase full of cash, unknowingly unleashes a relentless killer in pursuit. As violence escalates, an aging sheriff struggles to understand the world where mortality, order, and justice seem to be slipping away. I love, it's like that classic like hunter, thief, cop kind of role. Like these people, like all three of these guys are doing their own thing. Every scene I think could be broken down, like you said, and it's like a play. It's like a one act play. Every single thing, everything is so meaningful. Everything is so purposeful. And it's one of those movies. It's haunting. That's a perfect way to describe it, because it's not a happy movie. It's pretty, I think the part, we'll get to it, but just the end, the last person we see, Chigurh kill is, I think that's like the saddest part of the movie, you know,
Yeah.
and I think the book was actually even a little bit, or the movie was a little bit lighter, I think, on some stuff too.
Sure.
Yeah, so we've got our stars. We've got Javier Bardem. And it's honestly, I think his haircut caused me to skip this movie.
That's
for a
one
little
of the scariest.
It's terrifying, and it adds to it. But I was like, that's goofy. But yeah, you're right. It adds to the terrifying nature that his hair is so perfect. You get the vibe that he had to do these things. All the things that his character does in this movie, he knows in his head that he has to do them. There is no choice.
Yeah.
There's fate, which with the quarter flip,
Mhm.
but he has to do that. And he's like, even when he's with the wife at the end, he's like, you have to choose. You have to choose. Like, you can even tell he's like, you have to choose. And then I react to that choice. Like, that's all that's happening right now. There's no other option.
Yeah, it like borders on like an evil entity is controlling him, like, which is like, you know, probably more in line with probably some mental health issues that he definitely
Yeah.
was
Oh,
going
dude.
through. But it's like, that's like, you're so right. Like, there's something to him that is like this driving force. And I think even, again, I think Bardem, who plays him, I'm pretty sure he chose that haircut and just kind of told the barber, like, do your worst, because he wanted to hate himself, like, and like hated looking at himself in the mirror because it's such a nasty haircut, like, made him evil in some ways.
I see the haircut and like initially I'm like, oh, that's kind of like weird. Why would they choose that? Why would he as a killer choose that haircut? And then I watch him when he like systematically like enter a room and he knows exactly like, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead. I'm saving you or whatever. Then when he leaves the room, how he like pays attention to so many details, how he like checks his shoes, the bottom of his shoes before he leaves to make sure, am I leaving tracks? No, I'm good. The kind of guy that has that haircut does that kind of stuff. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it initially is silly, and then you see him take his actions and you see the things that he does and you're like, oh, yeah, this haircut is on the inside as well.
Exactly.
This haircut is on the inside. Well, dogs can grow beards all over, so that's a Devil Wears Prada song.
What are you talking about?
Dogs can grow beards all over. Fact.
Yeah.
So yeah, we also have Josh Brolin, Tommy Lee Jones. Tommy Lee Jones, this is his perfect role. Like, that's like, that is
Yeah.
his character. He's the old cop. I think that guy, unfortunately, was like the old cop for the last 40, 50 years of his life, you know? Like,
Yeah. I'll even say Tommy Lee Jones was the old cop in The Fugitive in the 80s.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
This
you're
is
right.
20
It's like-
years after that.
It's still the old cop. I do like to think, it doesn't work out timeline wise, but I do like to think that Tommy Lee Jones ends the movie so sad that that's actually when he gets picked up by the Men in Black. That he was, you know, like, it was another sequel where they wiped his mind, like, no, we're bringing you back, buddy, you know, and
Yeah.
it doesn't work, but that in my head canon, that's what he went to next, and a lot more fulfilling.
so funny.
Andrew Clark, what was that we talked about, drawing the conclusions with all the movies together? It's the guy from The Thing. We just talked about
Oh, yeah, John Carpenter's films and yeah, what's his name?
you know him. He's the main guy. He's McCready in The Thing.
Yep, and he's the checkers in the mail.
I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed.
Russell?
Kurt Russell.
Yeah, it's Kurt Russell. So
Oh,
forgetting his character's
Yeah.
name. But he's like the same borderline character in all those movies, even though they're all different universal movies. But it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's just the same character.
And like, there's got to be some map of, okay, well, he ended his career with The Thing, and right before that, he was a truck driver in Big Trouble in Little China. Right before that, he was, you know, like all these, like, he was escaping from
Escape from New York.
There's got to be a full circle.
Wow. So at what point does he become a suburban dad who's a superhero?
That's definitely Lake.
Really concerned about. Yeah,
Yeah,
late game.
when he
Okay.
comes up,
That's
yeah,
the thing. He settles down. He finds
Yes.
a nice lady. He
Mhm.
is the Thing at the end of the thing because
Yep.
he has superpowers.
Yeah.
He infects the mom and all their kids. This works.
dude.
This works. Yeah. Yeah. And then, like I said, he keeps evolving and then he becomes Ego, the living planet. Like it all tracks.
Yeah.
It's perfect. Airtight.
That's so good.
But yeah, even Josh Brolin in this movie is so good. I love a movie too. We've talked about this before where everyone is smart in this movie.
Mhm.
And it's like pieces on a board. Like Llewellyn Moss, he's like hunting and he goes there and he's like, he knows if he goes back, which I'd love to hear you guys. So, Llewellyn Moss, Josh Brolin's character, finds the money. He's like, I don't have any water for you, dying guy, takes the money.
Mm-hmm.
Why is he going back? Why did you assume he's going back?
He feels guilty for that guy.
Yeah,
He's
that's what I was
gonna pull him out.
Wow.
Or he's gonna kill him himself and be like, no, I should have either helped him or ended his suffering.
Yeah, I was just curious if that's what you guys thought too, because I think that's what we're supposed to be. Because like he's like, oh, I gotta go do this, and like I'm gonna go do something stupid. So like he knows going back there is wrong, and it's like in his head, if it weren't for what was in the money case, going back is the only thing that screwed him over. He would have been fine, if he didn't go back, and so that's why he's like, this is stupid. But he made all those choices consciously. It wouldn't have mattered because there's the tracker in that suit of cash.
Right.
But he still makes all these smart moves. Like when the dogs are sent after him, when he's first running, when he goes back to the location, the dog is chasing him and he takes it out and he clears the round and checks it because he was just in the water, re-racks it and fires. Like this isn't a guy who's just like, click, click, click. It's not working. Clear it. He's just like, I have time. He goes down to one knee, like he's a trained military guy. Like he's so smart and he's cool under pressure. Like he's not going to freak out. It's like, dog's going to come kill me, but I've got 5 seconds. Takes the knee, checks his gun, racks it, fire. And he almost does everything right and he still fails. And I think that is so interesting in this movie. Like,
dude, this is him in every scene, more or less. He is calm, collected. He pays attention when he needs to pay attention. He rests when he knows he can rest. And when Anton gets close, it's like he has a third sense, right? The opening scene is incredible for him as a character. I think each of the characters in their opening scenes carries them through the movie for like how I view them. Him opening as a hunter, like blue collar type of guy, likes to hunt. He's got just a basic pickup truck. He can track. Very intelligent. Finds the money, and you're right. The one thing that he does that he feels is driven by morals as a modern blue collar, live in a trailer park kind of guy, the one thing he does, as far as we know at that point in the movie, is the thing that gets him into trouble. And that's the beauty of that character, because it's not like outrightly explained to us, but I think that's the beauty of his movements in the movie kind of help us see the contrast between the other two characters in modern ethics, morals, in modern morals. So like what I mean is, I'm going to stop talking in like 60 seconds. What I mean is,
keep it going.
He's caught between a spaghetti Western good guy, Tommy Lee Jones, white hat cowboy. He's a good guy. He's Andy Griffith. He doesn't want to carry his gun. Like, he almost never draws his gun. His partner always drawn his gun. Tommy Lee Jones does not, right? He wants to, like his opening monologue, he wants it to be how it used to be when morals and justice and like people knew what was right. That's contrasted with Javier Bardem, Anton, just death himself. Like, he's the Grim Reaper. And we get Llewellyn in the middle, where he's like a guy just kind of got lucky. He was out doing his own thing, regular kind of looking guy, nothing special, found $2 million. And now he's like, his life is going to go down the drain because of this. And he keeps trying to make good decisions. He keeps trying to do what could be moral and what a good man would do. And I think it's an incredible character, but those three in opposition with each other and how they pull and push each other was really, really great.
Yeah. I was immediately trying to connect something to like the good, the bad, and the ugly, but Anton's character is the bad and the ugly. So
Mm-hmm. The thing that Llewellyn, I think one of the themes he represents is the consequence of choices. Because I think the movie hits on the idea like once a choice is made, it can't be undone. And so I think to your point, like I think he was like returning to almost like make amends. Like, oh, I felt bad. Like I made a poor choice that I shouldn't have made, good or bad. But it's like, I think even with Chigurh flipping the coin, it's almost like, no, once it's made, you got to deal with whatever comes next. Because at any point, I'm pretty sure, couldn't Llewellyn, Brolin have just left the case somewhere and like gone away?
yeah.
Like, but there was always his pursuit to still carry the money with him. Like, so there was still like the choice was made. He's got to deal with the consequences.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And like I mentioned that he is like the working class man. He's trying to do anything that he can to get him and the one he cares about out of their situation. And so run away for a couple weeks. That's fine. I can deal with that. Distance myself from my loved one so that I can come back later. That makes sense to me. Like mathematically, I can lose this guy. I'm a tracker. Like I hunt. I know guns. I can defend myself. So he keeps like making concessions in his mind of like, I can do this. I can totally do this. Yeah. But yeah, I like that. I like that imagery. Like once he makes a decision, he never turns back from that. And like no one does that.
Especially because he's almost like the good version of Chigurh. Like they both have similar skill sets that are then like we're sitting there like you're almost like rooting for Llewellyn, and I'm sure we'll get to it, but obviously there's nothing ever resolved. Like we don't actually get a hero in the movie, and because choices were made and everyone has to deal with the consequences, including Chigurh later on. So there is just like kind of this interesting play out that Llewellyn, like you want to root for him. And he made, like you said, a choice that was an understandable and like good intention choice, but life has
free money in a briefcase. All right.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, there's a lot in this movie where it does seem random and they're trying to figure it out the whole time. You talked about, I literally wrote that down too with Tommy Lee Jones as Andy Griffith. And it's so funny.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did.
Cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, because it's that same thing. He's the cop that he wants to help the people. He wants to take care of things. So he's not going to wear a gun. But there's some very dramatic episodes of Andy Griffith where he straps on his gun. And it's like, oh, shoot. You want to talk about a bad dude. It's Andy Griffith.
Dude, when he puts on his gun, it's game over, buddy.
You know. I still remember there's this episode of Andy Griffith. My family was a big into it, so I have a lot up here. I blame them because I have such a good memory that like I remember every episode I ever watched, and they're like, "Oh, I forgot about that show." I'm like, "They're all up here, and you did this to me." But there was this episode where a killer was like coming through town, or no, it was someone that he sent away to state prison, and he was coming and he was looking for him. And so he's like, I think he's going to come. They don't say this in the show because it's such a famous show, but like the idea is like to mess him up, to kill him. It's the thought, but they don't actually say that. And he like goes over to his gun rack and he like puts his hand on his like shotgun, and you're thinking like he's going to grab it. And he goes, no, and he puts it away. And I'm always like, this guy's going to kill you. And you're the sheriff and you're still like, nope, I'm going to embrace this guy I sent up up the creek for 10 years.
I'm gonna talk him down.
And you know how the episode ended? The convict showed up, shook his hand, and said, "Thank you for changing my life."
Oh my god!
And he
And then domed him.
Yep. Then he took out an air pump. It's like, "Please step out of your car, sir."
Yeah, sure. Don't move.
That leads us in. Let's talk about one of the scariest weapons.
Yeah.
I can think about. So is there a bolt in there, or is it oh, it's a bolt that goes in and out, right? It doesn't shoot.
Yeah, it's
Air pressure.
it's retractable.
Okay.
It was used to put cattle down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um
It's also
I mean-
featured in It Chapter 2 or It Chapter 1.
oh yeah, because the kid doesn't want to do it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I think Mike, his grandpa is trying to get him to kill the pig, and he's got the chunk thing, and they use it on Pennywise later.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Dude,
Right.
we need to do a movie talk on it. I'd love to do that one too. You know, sometimes I see those movies where like the father figure is trying to get the kid to like kill an animal and the kid's bawling his eyes out. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not doing too bad, you know?
Yeah.
Pretty good dad.
At least I've not done that more than
I haven't done
once.
that, you know, at least until they can drive, you know, I'll make them kill. Oh man.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, that
it's a
weapon
crazy weapon though.
Mhm.
is crazy. And it's so cool that like how they use it. He uses it to enter doorways, and it like confuses people too, which like it adds to the mystique of it. And it's just like, yeah, and it's like, well, he's got a hole in his head, but there's no bullet, and there's, you know,
Yeah, no exit wound.
yeah.
Mhm.
I love that because it's like it's such a utility weapon. It's quieter than a gun, and he uses it a lot, and it also just keeps confusing people. Like that's why he carries it. It's like, yep, this is perfect for my utility stuff.
It I liked it. I liked the weapon choice because it added to like the myth of Chigurh. Like it made him this like mythical killer. But I liked that the movie, similar to, and I know you put these two movies in the same category, similar to John Wick, where it like didn't need crazy backstory for me to get on board with who he was.
Yeah.
Like John Wick like does a really good job of like, oh, he's just BA and everyone just thinks so. And like you just roll with it, right? And I think with Anton in a similar way, like our first interaction, you're like, yeah, this is a bad dude. And the movie takes no time to be like, let us tell you why he's a bad dude. I just like that I'm like, no, he's bad. And I believe that he's this mythical assassin. Like I'm good with it. Like I think the movie does a good job at that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Dude, if you're gonna make a character the Grim Reaper, that's exactly how you have to do it. That has to be built-in mythical, like, I don't fully understand this guy. I'm not supposed to, but he deals death. This is the guy who hands it out freely.
Yeah.
And then not only hands out death freely at someone's behest, like someone is telling him what to do in some regard, but then fate has its way.
Yeah.
And yeah, the Grim Reaper could take anyone, right? But there's also the randomness of chance, and that's why he like flips the coin so much. That's why he's so constrained or compelled, both constrained and compelled, by this idea that like, yeah, I'm the Grim Reaper, but fate can save you and fate could kill you.
Yeah.
And I like that the final kind of conversation that he has with Llewellyn's wife, and she says, no, this isn't fate. This isn't a coin flip. This is you. You are the one who is responsible. And he has this like visceral reaction. If you're not willing to like submit yourself to fate like everyone else, then I will decide, and I'll choose death. And that's yeah. So I like that the coin flipping and the fate, and him seeing him as like that mythic Grim Reaper figure was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that scene, like that's the hard part of the end of the movie. And I think that's her only victory is she can say like, I'm not choosing. And it just, the fact that unnerves him is kind of, I think, the best anyone achieves in this entire movie with him, because like they can't
Which is
stop him,
such
they
a
can't find him.
that's such a Coen Brothers move to play. Is like, oh,
Mhm.
you want a happy ending? Here you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like that was the happiest I felt in that whole movie. You're right.
yeah. You're like, she did it. She did it good. Yeah, just kind of bouncing around. But I was even thinking back to Josh Brolin being so smart when he switches hotel rooms. I just love that so much because he goes in, checks in the hotel room, hides the bag, and then he never goes back in that room again. He like pushes it through to the vent so he can grab it from a different room. And I just like, he is so methodical. Like he doesn't do anything stupid.
Yeah.
It's just so perfect. And then he goes to get the tent poles. He knows exactly what he wants. You know, I love the store guy trying to be like, well, what kind of tent do you want? When he's like, I want the poles. And like, well, if you're missing poles, tell me what tent you got and we can order the poles for it. It's like, give me the one with the biggest poles.
Yes.
It's later on in the movie, but I love how he goes back to the same guy to get clothes twice while not having clothes. Like, oh man, he's like, those boots still working out for you? And it's like, that's all he's got on from like normal clothes, wearing the hospital gown and stuff.
Yeah. Which makes his demise also, if we're going to talk about that now, like also just so sad. And so just like, dang, like off camera, the one time he like finally almost like takes a deep breath, like lets his guard down. Yeah, I'm just like supposed to be like, oh, it's just, he's done. Okay, moving on, I guess. Like it's just such a, it was so shocking the first time because again, he's the hero. Like he's he's supposed to be the one who figures it out. He's put up the best fight. And nope, he gets taken out by the randos. Like it's just like it's the craziest twist in my mind.
Yeah. And that plays exactly like that in the book too. You're like, you switch perspectives all the time, and then it totally switches to the sheriff who comes up on that scene. And you're like, I don't know about you, Andrew, but like Clark, I should say. I apologize. I like my Andrews. I collect a few of them, you know. But like just that fact of like when I was reading the book, I had to double check. I know who Llewellyn Moss is, but I had to check. Wait, Llewellyn Moss? Like, yeah, Llewellyn Moss is dead. It's like, wait, Llewellyn Moss is dead?
Yeah.
You know, because it's almost like your brain's not like, that's one of the main characters. That's who I've been following. Yeah. And then another character finds them dead. And I do think it's interesting. I love to talk about this deviation. So McKay, you don't know this, but there was a lot more with another girl that Llewellyn Moss like went like a journey through. So as he's running, he picks up a hitchhiker who's like a super young girl. And I think that's important because his wife is super young. Like, I think they said she got married like when they were like, she was a teenager. So he's like vastly older than his wife. And so I think that implies that he likes the young ladies, you know, maybe not illegally, but like he likes them young. So he picks up this young hitchhiker. And they're together for like a couple days going to like El Paso. Like, so they have like a rapport. And then the last scene is the hotel room and they have two different rooms, but she's like, come over for a beer. And he's like, no, I don't know. So that whole poolside scene kind of happens there, but it's with a girl that he's been traveling with for a while. And I think about this. I thought about in the book, it's sad too, because like they really mess with them. Like we had to tell his wife that he was traveling with a young lady, and like I didn't want to tell her that because that makes it even worse. Yeah. And I think that's another thing, that he's not a good guy, and he never cheats on his wife. But I think it does show that's how how dark it got for him, that he's like, I think this is my last night. And so I think he's kind of like, should I flirt with this girl? Like last couple of days, like I think he just wanted some companionship. Yeah. So yeah, McKay, what do you think about that? How much that was changed?
I mean, if they're gonna change it, I like that they included the beer scene where someone, like a young lady, does offer him beer. I'm like, hey, why don't you come over to I'm at this room over here. We can have a couple beers. And he goes, nah, I know, I'm not kidding myself. I know where beers lead to, ma'am. Oh, thank you. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and he maintains that aspect of his character. Um, yeah, I think to include that in the movie would have confused me because he's so fast. He's so into it. Like, he is tuned in survival with this money. So to throw in, it would make sense for pacing of a book, right? But for a movie that, like, no movie could ever be like devote the amount of time that a book can. So it makes sense in my brain.
Yeah.
But man,
It's definitely a pretty faithful adaptation for the most part, which is cool. And I think you're right, McKay. Like I did appreciate they at least have that in there. It would have felt, I think for movie purposes, it definitely would have darkened his character. And I think I just watched it from this perspective that he is the good to Chigurh's evil, like that. So I think there's like that level of like, again, choices and consequences of your choices. That theme plays out way more when it's just kind of like, no, man, I'm not going to. And then, well, it turns out he did. And now he's gone. Like, it's almost like he let his guard down. That's a choice you make. You got to face the consequence. So, yeah, I agree. I like how the movie handled it, even though in the book it still works. But I did appreciate how the movie handled it.
Yeah, in both the book and the movie, we don't really know what happened. We know that they were still together. And it's also so, I love it too, because it's a sad ending for our protagonist in a way. And it's also even sad for Chigurh because he has massive, like, he didn't get him. It's like the cartel got him. And then he was so upset. Now, I don't remember this from the book, Clark, but did Chigurh kill the guy who hired him in the book? I didn't think it happened, but maybe I just missed that.
I don't recall. It's been a minute since I read the book, so I don't recall if he did.
Yeah.
The thing that stands out to me about the biggest difference is I do think we just get a lot more of Sheriff, his inner monologues and perspective.
Yeah.
Like he just like
in the book, you're saying?
In the book, there's I know we get some in the movie, but like in the book, because it's perspective based, we just get a ton of his thought process, like on everything. It feels like, so that would be hard to do in a movie with multiple characters that you're trying to get. But that stood out to me as the largest difference between the two. Is I think the book portrays Sheriff Ed Tom Bell's more of the good guy, the protagonist. Would you agree with that, Heath?
Yeah, I think so. We definitely get a lot more of him for sure.
Yeah.
I was always feeling when I watched the movie, I'm like, oh yeah, where's the sheriff? Like I haven't seen him in a minute. And yeah, I agree too that this is a very faithful adaptation. And like the stuff they changed, I was even thinking about in the book, the sheriff just comes up on the crime scene that's already done. It's like, here's the body, whatever. In the movie, he shows up and like they're peeling out and the gunfire is still going. So it's like, but that is definitely such a movieism. It's like, let's keep it going. Let's keep it flowing. Yeah, a lot less sheriff, I think. But it's also, yeah, you're right. What would we do? Is like Tommy Lee Jones talking over every single scene. Llewellyn's talking to the girl at the beer. I myself like beer. I always did like beer. My daddy liked beer. So I think we like beer together. I think he liked that a lot. Also, Tommy Lee Jones is kind of sounding like Andy Griffith. I'm just saying.
It's on purpose.
I was watching a lot of Andy Griffith at the time, and I thought, I don't want to carry a gun, but
I'd rather stitch you in
Tommy Lee Jones impersonation.
Dude, I love Tommy Lee Jones. You're right. The Fugitive is so good. I have such a special a place in my heart for Men in Black, especially the first one. It is such a fun, crazy movie. And he does so well in that movie. Bouncing back, I always thought about this in this movie a lot, and I feel like as our culture gets away from cash more and more, the use of cash in this movie I just find is really interesting because so many people, it gets you so much power because it's not a trackable thing. It's just like, hey, can you do this? Like, here's this money. You know, he gets so many things, even in the book, even more so. It's more like, no, I'm not going to do that. Here's $1,000. How much does he buy the coat for? And this is like,
It's like $500 or something.
Yeah, it's a
yeah,
couple
this is like the
$100
'70s
shirt.
for like a
Yeah.
used jacket, you know, and then like Chigurh buys that kid's shirt at the end to use for scraps, you know, and just like how little it means to them, but how much you can get away with. Yeah, I find that really interesting too, because like they're so tied to this money and it's so powerful. And the fact that it's not digital, I feel like is so much even more so. That's like,
There were several moments in the movie that I thought, you just have $500 in your pocket right now?
yeah.
That's stupid. That's crazy. And like, oh wait, no. How else is he gonna carry it?
I was, I won't say names, but Andrew knows, Clarky knows exactly who this is, but I was on a mission trip and we were getting through security. So we were going into the country and I saw our leader slip the security guy, in the US in airport security, $100 to hurry us through the line. And totally just like, yeah, we work for tips, and just like went right through. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, we're going on a missions trip, but if we wanted to do anything nefarious, we totally just bypassed all of security. Like that was insane to me. And someone did that. Like everyone talks about security on planes and all this stuff. It's like, that was $100. And like, that's a little scary, but it's a good story.
Whoa.
And of course, none of that was real. So,
Nah, just a good story.
just a good story. Made it up, probably.
Yeah. It was me. I was their youth leader.
I wasn't gonna say it, but McKay, even though he's younger than me, he was my youth leader.
Yeah.
There was no music in this.
That was my next thing.
Okay. Well, sing me the song, or don't.
Dude. Oh. I didn't realize that there was no music until 2 days after I watched it. Because you watch a movie, you start looking stuff up about it, and you're like, oh, that's cool. You're looking at those characters. And then your algorithm and all your social medias, because they listen to you and they watch everything you do.
Yeah.
It just popped up like on TikTok somewhere of like, No Country for Old Men opted to use like sound design and footprints and gunshots and heavy breathing instead of music. And I went, always? And so I like looked into it more, just no music. And it does so well. Like it flows. There's no awkwardness. I was enthralled and not a single chord. Like
Yeah.
it was crazy.
Okay, so there was music in one small part. Do you remember?
Was it like a car radio or something?
No. So, well, I'm not saying there was none of that, but there's no orchestra. There was no in front music whatsoever. The mariachi band, when he fell asleep in Mexico, and they wake him up and they're like full volume, like, dun, 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 yeah. Which is great because he's like, it's like the shocking, like, I'm bleeding out, exhausted, like almost like you're waking up in a hangover.
Yeah.
And that's the first song you hear. And it's so jarring and it works so perfectly because that's literally the first thing we've heard musically in this movie.
So funny.
It's so perfect that they use that. But yeah, a lot of sound design in this movie, but no score. It's so crazy and it works so perfectly.
And
Creaky floorboards, so scary.
Yeah. But I think to your point, McKay, like you don't even think about it. Like it feels so natural and you're just in it that, it's like a day later, like, oh, I can't even like listen. I can't go back and listen to anything.
Mm-hmm. There's even like, not just the sound design, but also this is just my conjecture. I don't know if this is true or not, but the difference between how Anton and Llewellyn are filmed, their scenes or their perspective scenes, if you're talking from the book, Llewellyn is consistently a fixed camera position. Camera's in one spot and you're watching him do something. Maybe it rotates, but it stays in that fixed position. Anton is constantly moving, and the camera's on a rig on a person, following him through a house, following him through the streets. It's not like 100% all the time, but the grounding shots of like Llewellyn, whenever he finds a beat anywhere to take a breath, the camera stops. And Anton never really has a lot of those. Like, if the camera's in a fixed position, it's because another character is in the room with him. But when it's just Anton, it's like we're going handheld. Like, we got to follow this guy around. So I thought that was really cool and interesting, especially like namely that first opening scene with like the camera's moving around the cop car with Anton and like as he's getting arrested and all that stuff. And then Llewellyn's first scene, fixed camera shots of him walking through the wilderness as the hunter to go catch the deer, right? So I thought it was really cool.
And sweet.
Yeah, it really it's that kind of guerrilla camera. I always hated it in like the Bourne Ultimatum, the third Jason Bourne movie, because it got so crazy. And I'm like, I totally get it, and the director loves it because he's like, we're running up the stairs and the cameraman's running up there with you. It's gonna make you feel jarred and blah blah. And I'm like, I can't see what's going on. Like, that was the first time. Like, I was probably like 19 when that came out, and I'm like, I feel too old for this movie. I can't focus on it.
Young kids who don't have glasses.
Whippersnappers. But yeah, the subtlety. I mean, the Coen Brothers, obviously, like, they're so good at what they do, and it's used so well. That's just like the filming style is just a little more chaotic on Chigurh, and like that's awesome. They're actually using their thing. I mean, we haven't even talked about it, but this whole movie is beautiful, and it's so like, dude, that hotel is framed beautifully. It's like that.
Yeah,
that old beat up car is awesome. It's on the side of the road. How interesting can you make a shot that just has a car on the side of the road, and it's like, it's beautiful, like everything that goes on. Should we talk about?
It's like, no,
go ahead. No, you got it.
No,
I was about to switch topics. Are you ready to leave this topic?
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay, I think we need to talk about our boy, Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's such a small part, but I think it is so powerful. Because he comes in as the professional assassin, like the fixer, you know. In any other movie, he is the guy we're following, protagonist or antagonist. Like, that's the main character role for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, I think when you follow that, you're like, okay, he's going to be around for a while. And it's such a small role that I think it really helps because he's the professional, he's good. And the guy, he's like, well, Chigurh is really good. You know, it's like, and then as soon as he's like, he tells Llewellyn Moss, I'm like, either you're going to get me to help and you might survive, or that guy's going to kill you. And then when Woody Harrelson goes back to the hotel, Chigurh is there. And Chigurh says that he's like, you knew you were dead when you saw me. Because he's like, you're crazy, and I know I'm not faster than you. Like, I'm already dead. And like the way this confident, like, professional killer, like Woody Harrelson, you can just see the fear on his eyes. And he's just like, I'm going to take everything, that all your bravado is gone because I'm going to kill you, and you know I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's the meeting the Grim Reaper, and it's like someone who thought they were the Grim Reaper, and then you actually meet Daddy, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
never mind.
Yeah. Oh, I understand now. Yeah. Like he was the guy who would introduce people to the Grim Reaper, but not Death himself.
Yeah,
that's a big difference. Yeah,
100%.
Man, I loved the silenced shotgun, even though I know that's like, I don't know a lot about guns, but I know that's not how that works. But I loved it.
What do you
so
mean?
Much. Like the shotgun with a silencer on it.
It would work.
That's not how that's not how like suppressors work. If a gun has a suppressor on it, there's still a significant amount of noise.
Right.
It like dampens.
Oh, okay. I thought you were
but
saying
a
you couldn't put a.
shotgun.
I thought you were saying you couldn't put a suppressor on a shotgun.
Oh, I don't know enough about that much, but
Okay.
I've seen enough like MythBuster type videos,
Yeah.
where they've like YouTubers have addressed this specifically of like, no, you can't walk into a room with a silenced shotgun and go and just kill someone and then walk out. Like people are gonna hear it's an explosion in a stick. Like
Yeah.
but I loved it. It was so cool.
Oh yeah.
I was okay with it.
I like especially like old 80s movies always made it sound like almost like a laser gun. Like like James Bond, even like pew, pew. Like it was like but it was like a cool sound. I can't do it. Pew is not it. That doesn't describe it well.
No, this one was, I've never heard a noise like that. Like as soon as he fired it, it's so unique and it's really cool.
Yeah. The sound design really was awesome, especially for no music. They used sound and absence of sound so well. Like every time Chigurh shot out a door lock, it was just so like it was just that sound and then the clink of the metal. It was just such a provocative like sound. It was just like somehow it was like that's probably
provocative.
It was a little hot.
Little ASMR, yeah. I agree.
My eyes roll back.
I liked that you could hear it like plink around in the room.
Yeah.
Like he would shoot the lock out, the deadbolt out, and you hear like ding, 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 and then everything would settle again, and then he'd go in.
Yeah.
I've got a scene that I want to talk about so bad.
Do it.
Okay, so I've been referencing like Anton is the Grim Reaper. He's using fate and chance as part of his limitation and push forward. And there's a scene when Ed Tom thinks he's about to confront Anton Chigurh. And he's standing at the doorway to I think it was like a motel doorway. And he looks down at the lock that's been shot out. So he knows what it is, and he sees, okay, empty deadbolt. I don't think he draws his gun because he's at a point now where he's too far. He's made decisions. He's pursued this guy too far where he can't go. He's not going to run away, but he's also not going to double back on who he is as a sheriff and what kind of sheriff he's decided to be.
That's Andy Griffith taking his hand off the gun.
Dude, he's Andy Griffith. Yes.
I'm gonna hug him.
He's like, this guy's going to thank me. So the shot goes for him outside the door, back. You probably remember this, back to Anton hiding behind a door with the sun coming through a deadbolt that he's like shot out. And you think, this is it, man. He's going to just waltz in there, try and find him, and he'll be dead. And it turns out to be a coin flip situation. And that's exactly what Ed Tom understands it to be as well. He's like, this guy plays by chance and fate. I'm calling it. I'm gonna call heads. I'm going in this room. Whether or not I die is not at this point up to me anymore. It has to be by fate. So he calls it, goes in, not there. And it's just like this, like I'm sweating and there's like this insane sense of relief of like, oh my gosh, okay, Ed Tom's okay. He's fine. He turns out like Chigurh's into somewhere else. But I loved that. That seemed like the height of Chigurh saying, call it. Even though they didn't even interact with each other. It was an incredible, I think that was my favorite scene over the gas station scene. But that was a close second.
Which actually we need to get to the gas station scene for sure.
Great.
But I was going to say, yeah, it does seem like, Ed Tom also, Tommy Lee Jones is so smart. He puts this stuff together. He shows this throughout, and he's like, he regularly returns to the scene of the crime. And then he's like, he's totally going to be there. And I just love how he puts that together. Like, so that was after the tape has gone up, after everything's gone down, Llewellyn Moss is dead. And he's like, I'm going to circle back. And it's evident that he's already been there. And yeah, you're right. That play of, is he in there right now? And in the book, I believe he calls the backup. Like he calls cops to come and to take the room, but they're like 10 minutes away. So it's still exactly what you talk about. He still has to go in by himself, and he could have waited, but he's like, if he's in there, yeah, he chooses the side and goes.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah. So yeah, the scene where we see I think the only person who wins a coin flip in this movie is the gas station scene.
The old man.
Yeah.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's done so well. It's this gas station guy, and he's like, call it heads or tails. Like, well, I don't know what I'm calling. Like, once again, like this whole scene, it's a 1-act play. It's so perfect.
Yeah.
And he gets it right, and he doesn't even know what he won. He's like, here you go. Here's your quarter. That's your lucky quarter. And he's like, don't put it, he's like about to put it in his pocket. He's like, don't put it in the pocket with the other change. Like, that's your lucky quarter. You might lose it. And like in his eyes, he's like, that's losing fate. And he's like, this crazy thing of like, Chigurh is kind of like this. I probably need to kill this guy for evidence sake. And he's seen me and he can identify me, but nope, the quarter wills it. And so fate wills it. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. And the old man having just no sense at all. I just remember just watching it and just being like, wow, this sucks. Like, he's just going to kill this dude. And the guy's just like, what am I flipping for? Like, just so aloof to it. Which again, just adds to the myth, I think, of Anton. Like, he's just evil personified.
Yeah. Yeah. And he doesn't, oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think the gas station proprietor is what he's listed as on IMDb. I think
that's a gas station situation. From what I could see, he was proprietor much.
He wasn't proprietor in anything.
My dad's a pride.
I think the piece that he was missing, like, oh, he doesn't get it. He doesn't know what's going on. I think it was denial. I think it was self-denial. Because early in the interaction, he says, well, I got to close up now. Time to close up, actually. He knows that Chigurh is messed up and crazy somehow.
Yeah.
Enough for him to be like, all right, got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Does he let himself like actually ever get to the reality that Chigurh is flipping to kill him? I don't know. I think he lives in that denial space. He's definitely scared out of his pants. Like, he's so freaked out.
Yeah.
And like, how far would I let myself get before I would just reach a ceiling of like, I can't get more scared right now because I need to speak words. If I actually let my brain approach the topic of this guy just killing me for no reason, I think I'll just like stop talking and I won't be able to call this coin flip anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, excellent, beautiful scene. I loved it. Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah. It was kind of like the only wholesome scene, like where he did show mercy, but again, it wasn't even from him. It was just like,
it's not even mercy. It's just chance. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that I feel like makes it worse.
Oh yeah, definitely. It kind of gets that. It's like, I think we as the audience are supposed to be like, oh, okay, he didn't kill that guy. But then you're like, but wait, why didn't he? It's because he's still following fate. He's blind. And he puts fate as his excuse. It's almost like, I'm not killing these people. Like we talked about before, he's definitely saying, I'm not killing these people. It's fate. It's decided by this, And he also has no problem killing people randomly too. But I think he's like, he likes to remind himself that it's not him or it's not in his control.
Dude, this makes me think of Lord of the Rings.
Interesting.
I'm watching it right now. When in the Fellowship, when they enter the mines and Frodo, the mines of Moria. It's a mine. Anyway, Gandalf and Frodo are talking, and they're talking about Smeagol, Gollum. He's like, oh, he's been following us for 3 days. And Frodo says,
it's a pity.
Paraphrase. Yeah, it's a pity Bilbo didn't kill him when he had the chance, essentially.
Pity.
And Gandalf
It was
pity.
It was pity. Sorry, go ahead.
It was pity that saved it. No, you say it. Say it.
Yeah. Pity. It was pity that stayed Bilbo's hand. Many who deserve to die live, and some yet live who deserve to die. Can you give it to them, Frodo? Don't be so quick to deal out death and judgment. Even the very wise cannot see all ends.
Yes. Okay. Chigurh is the opposite of Gandalf. When Gandalf gives this incredibly wise short monologue, short little speech to Frodo about life and death, it's like to give either is far beyond your own understanding. Who are you to give life? Who are you to give death? Chigurh is like, I'm giving whatever. I'm dishing out whatever, like, not even whatever I want to some extent. I'm flipping a coin. It's fate, you know? So what do you mean, who am I to dish out death and dish out life? Like, to give those things? I don't.
Yeah.
Someone else decides it's not my decision. And that's, like, deeply contradictory to, like, the wonderful message of Gandalf, which I wonder if Chigurh has ever read Lord of the Rings.
He'd have the ability. It's the 70s, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
80s. Yeah, so he definitely would.
80s. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I do love the period piece too. I feel like that gives this an extra gritty, and even like the fact that like it still feels like even the tracker is not an unknown thing, but still pretty like, whoa, that's a big deal. They've got a tracker. And it was still so like crude. Like when Chigurh is trying to find it, he's like, nothing on this thing until you get certain close, and then it's kind of just like that way. It's very vague.
All I kept thinking was just, don't stay somewhere near the highway.
That's a very good point.
Like, he's going up and down the highway looking, and I was like, if you go like, I'm way dumber than Llewellyn, and so
Yeah.
I'm not even going to say that. I'm not going to finish my thought. There's no way I would have lasted as long as he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
When you pull off the highway to go to Taco Bell, you go to the Taco Bell that's one more away, so I already doesn't know. But it's cool because, yeah, I do agree. That's that's the only thing that gets him off the trail, or it gets, Chigurh to keep following him, is it's got the tracker. And even Llewellyn figures it out because he's sitting in that second hotel room, the one that has like the big staircase that Woody Harrelson's character dies in.
Yeah.
There he's like, he just sits and he looks at the bag, and then he starts rifling. He's like, that moment of, there's no way he just found me like that. And then he finds the tracker.
And we don't even need words. Like, he does this all with facial expressions. Josh Brolin is acting so well that we are tracking with his internal dialogue, and we don't need to hear it. It's incredible.
Yeah, I think I did want to bring up too that this won 4 Oscars. It won Best Picture, Best Director, Joel and Ethan Coen, Best Supporting Actor in Javier Bardem, and Best Adapted Screenplay, which I think Javier Bardem is still totally deserves the Oscar. But I think Josh Brolin, you're right, is doing some of the best acting he's ever done. It's just like, it's so impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, you go from this to Thanos. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But that's wild. I really liked Josh Brolin in Sicario, but I think this is his best movie.
Yeah.
This was incredible. Sicario was really good, if you haven't seen it, but this was peak Josh Brolin.
I think it really is. It's like, he's not in his older era yet. He's still kind of the younger guy, but he's out of like Goonies, teen stuff, and I don't know, I think it's such a good era for him. Did you guys, no, McKay did, but Clark, did you see Wake Up Dead Man? Yeah, so like, I thought he was amazing in that too.
Yeah,
Like,
he's super good in that. It threw me off at first that was him.
oh
He
yeah,
was he was legit.
Yeah.
we got like
halfway through.
what?
But I was just going to say, we got halfway through. My wife and I got halfway through this movie, and she goes, usually I'm the IMDb'er.
Yeah,
And she'll like wait to see like, oh, it only took you 10 minutes this time to IMDb someone in this movie. but she did it. She did it before me because she could not place who Monsignor Wicks was.
Yeah.
She's like,
It
who is
bordered-
that? I know him.
It initially I thought it was Bridges. Yeah, like
She did too.
I-
Yeah.
the first time he appeared on screen, I was like, oh yeah, Jeff Bridges in this. And then he talked, and I like watched. I was like, oh my gosh, it's Brolin. Like it was like, it was he was so good in that.
Jeff Bridges would have killed that role too.
Yeah,
That's true.
Ugh.
yes.
Well,
The one scene I was gonna mention at the end is Chigurh choking the dude out is a pretty gnarly.
yeah.
That's a pretty visceral, like
His
The way-
eyes get huge.
it's a crazy. That was like that set the tone for the movie, and I was just like, wow, I'm just like, what are we doing? Like, this is gonna be crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, that beginning scene, you're right. Because I think in the book, they even describe it as like he just wanted to see if he could get out. Like he was just kind of like
Mhm.
playing with that cop. And he was just kind of like,
Oh,
yeah, because I think we're supposed to assume that he just came from that shootout.
Yep.
And then he's like, got picked up and he was kind of just like, almost like, yeah, just give me a ride into town kind of thing, you know? And then like,
Yeah.
he was like, no, and then I want to escape and then use the thing. And then, yeah, he mercilessly kills that guy for his car, which is so freaky because like you get pulled over by a cop and you can tell the guy's like, you're not dressed like a cop, but what do you need? But he still's like, step out of the car, sir, step out of the car. It's like, here, let me show you this real quick. So dark.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just set the tone. It's such a gnarly but great kind of opening sequence, first 15 minutes of a movie.
Yeah, and we didn't really.
Especially contrasted. Well, I was going to say, especially contrasted with the monologue of Tommy Lee Jones talking about the good old days when every sheriff could be Andy Griffith. Every sheriff could have to carry his gun. When you keep going, actually, it's hard to compare yourself to sheriffs of the old days. It ain't fair. Even.
No, I did think we didn't really talk about it that much, but like Tommy Lee Jones. Hey, this is serious. This is a serious movie podcast. Come on, pull it together. Andrew, you're just gonna
Shut up for a second.
It was just McKay doing his thing, and you're singing over it.
kind of describes our friendship, actually.
Yeah.
But just like, yeah, that Tommy Lee Jones, his character is like his view of the world is like, how did things get this messed up? How did things like, you know, and he talks about like, I think it started when people start saying sir and ma'am. He's like, and I think it's like, you can take that train of thought to be like, people stopped respecting each other. I think they stopped, you know, caring. And like, yeah, you're right. This is I mean, Chigurh has the most probably clear cut is he wants to know what he's doing and he wants to do his thing the way he wants to do it. And everyone else is just in it for the money, except for the cop. And the cop is dealing with this, like, why are we killing people on the side of the road for cars? And like, why are we doing this even for money? It's like, that's it, you know? And something in the book that they don't tell is the ending scene with is it a relative of his? I can't even remember. He's like the family.
Maybe
something.
Is it, you talking about Tommy Lee Jones' character?
Yeah.
He's like his dad or something like
Yeah.
that, I thought. Or like an uncle. Like it's like,
Yeah.
Are you talking at the end?
Yeah. He just
That was
refers
his
to him.
In the
Okay.
in the movie, it was his uncle.
yeah.
I'd buy that because he calls him by his first name, which I feel he just kind of threw me off a little bit.
Mhm.
But anyways, he tells this story about he was in the war and he like left behind his soldiers who like they were pinned down, like a grenade went off in their location. He was and then he got thrown to the woods and like he heard his friends like calling for help, but he didn't know. He's like, he didn't think he could get to them. And so he left to go get help and then like came back and they were all dead. And so he was like, I've been carrying this. He's like, I was a coward and I didn't know. And then the guy was like, you didn't know if you could fix it. And it's like, and what would help dying there, you know? But just like, I think he's like, he's been holding that in his heart, like this idea of senseless violence and like, what do you do? And then like that whole mixes together with just like fate so well, like what would have happened, what could happen. And then it's a struggle. I mean, yeah, Tommy Lee Jones is really like, what did any of it matter? You know, and I think he gives up at the end because as a cop, I've heard this from other people too. It's like nothing's ever resolved. You don't like, sweet, finished up my last case. Now I'm retired. You know, like nothing is ever fully resolved. But then he struggles with, I think he stops the case because he's like, Chigurh, like if I got Chigurh, Llewellyn's dead, his wife's dead, like all these people, like he's like, I think he would be like, you know, I don't know. I just feel like he almost thought catching it was senseless because I think he's kind of like lost some faith there. But
yeah, and then the movie just ends.
Yeah,
like it just like goes. It's just like the craziest. He does his monologue, does his thing. You like feels down for him, but there's not a happy moment, and we assume Chigurh got away, and the movie ends.
Yeah.
Or it's just it's such a unique. Like it was an instantaneous YouTube rabbit hole. Like me and my buddies when we watched it, we just were like we had to look everything up because we're just like that was wild.
Yeah, as a movie lover, I definitely enjoyed it because it totally asks the questions that you're like want to think about it and like mull it over. I was also thinking it'd be funny to stop the recording mid you talking and we just like that's a hard cut for the podcast. We just cut it there. It's like actually the movie just abruptly just done. It's like
I think you should do it.
Very legit.
But yeah, it's hard when a movie ends on such a bummer, but the movie experience was done so well that was the gift, you know. But I'm noteless. I got nothing left. So is there anything else that you guys want or anything else we should talk about? But
great film. People need to go see it. Read the book too.
It was terrific.
Yeah, the book, it was pretty reasonable too. It was like an 8-hour audiobook, I think. And so I always audiobooks. That's how I relate to everything. But yeah, it's a great read. I really enjoyed the book. I was not expecting that. I think I've been hitting a lot of movies, like older movies that are book adaptions are just have not been hitting for me. I mean, classic, I always bring up, hated the book Jaws, hated the book Jurassic Park, you know, and so I was concerned about like, I know No Country for Old Men is a great movie, heard it is, but then I was worried about the book, and the book is killer. I mean, that is such a good book. So I totally recommend both, but
cool.
Well, Clarky, you got anything you want to push? Is the D&D pod back up? Or are we waiting on
there were
additional
we'll
episodes?
record more episodes, but
Nice.
Yeah, the Nets and the Nerd Table, it's kind of doing its thing. Our buddy Porter, he's streaming quite a bit, video games and Magic, stuff like that. And then
Nice.
Yeah, we play D&D every once in a while, and it's a good time.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, I'll link to that. So, well,
Cool.
McKay, why don't you just take us home?
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. As always, you can follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Spotify. You can find us on YouTube, full video shows on YouTube and also on Spotify. Check us out there. Follow along with us. We post at this rate every day. We're posting something. So comment, interact with us. That makes our days. We like the conversations that spur us into further ideas, like watching Oscar-winning films and talking about them. So, as always, go see a movie.
Go see a movie. My dad liked movies. He went to go see movies.
I think if my daddy would have been around to see a movie, I would have liked to take him to one.
I feel like
I think it would have really just tickled his fancy.
I feel like my Tommy Lee Jones Southern accent is about to get to Forrest Gump. It's so close.
Am I already at Forrest Gump? Am I there?
I feel like we're both going down that road.
My daddy
used to like movies.
Yeah.
I just watched Marty Supreme, so Forrest Gump is on the mind.